What is going on, guys, and welcome to Jeff Makes Films. My name is Jeffrey, the creator of Jeff Makes Films, and in today's episode of the horse cutting documentary series, I'm going to be asking riders, how can you tell a good cow from a bad cow? Now, I'm sure a lot of riders who are just beginning in the horse cutting sport are curious about this themselves. How can you tell a good cow from a bad cow? When do you cut for shape, size, color? What is the main thing you look for in a cow when you're choosing that specific cow that can make or break your session?
Usually you're really relying on your corner help to tell you, what cows are fresh, what cows have been already worked, or what cows might work again. So as you're going in there, you hope that you have a couple options about what cows to cut. When you're driving up, you try to select something that's not going to run off, something that's not going to run into you, something that kind of sees you, goes to the outside, float it to the outside, and hope you cut it well. And hopefully your corner guys have helped you out in telling you correct ones to pick.
I have to say, you got help out there, and they're guiding you as well to which ones are fresh and which ones aren't. But it really comes down to feel.
First, I watch them settle the cows, and I look for anything high-headed or a lot of white around the eye, something that runs to the back wall is something I'm probably not going to choose. And I don't mind if they run away from the man settling the herd and go to the back wall, but I like it if then they get to a safe place and turn and look at him. That's a good cow. Usually on my first cut, I like to kind of choose a little slower cow for my horse, and then it all depends on if it's in a good place to cut. I like to bring him up the outside, so.
When they start settling the cows, I start watching them and start writing down so I could identify them. And I really do rely on my trainer and my turn back to identify which cow. But when you're deep in the class, you kind of end up with what you get and what you think might be a good cow. Even the professionals might think it's a good cow. It can turn out to be a runner, or especially how you cut it. If you cut cows a certain way, you can turn it into a very fast cow.
We do something called a settle. So when the cattle are brought in for your class, there is a settler, and he is chosen by the first contestant in the class. So number one person chooses who their settler is. And all he does is he walks through the herd of cattle, walks towards them, and you look to see, as a contestant, you look to see how that cow reacts to the horse, because you're going to be that horse and rider going in. And so you look to see, does that cow back away? That's a good thing. Does the cow duck between the other cows and run back? That's a bad cow. So you take notes, you really watch the herd, and you look for identifying characters physically on the cow so that you can identify the cow from another cow that looks just like it. Because a lot of these herds, every single cow in there is black. Well, you have to sit there and determine, well, this cow has, a marking, usually it's poop or mud on their body that differentiates them from the next cow. So you just watch that. You watch like I said, you watch the settler go through the herd, and that's how you determine what cows you want to cut.
Oh yeah, you can. Put their tail up and start running or turning in circles, but yeah, or you're one that just wants to stand still and do nothing.
Typically you want a cow to move away from you if you're going into it. If it just stands there, it's not going to move for you when you're trying to cut, so it's not a good cow.
I mean, those good cows, I think they kind of check you out. You'll see, they give you their eye, or you kind of get their attention. Those bad cows don't want to look at you. They don't want nothing to do with you, and they'll typically take off. And I think the key for us, novice cutters, is to listen to your trainers in your corner.
When you're looking for cows, you're looking for cows that will kind of turn away from the horse a little bit, but won't run. What you want is a cow that doesn't mind being by itself. It'll go to the outside and stand there and watch, and not have to be in a pack. And if you can get a cow like that, it's usually better to work.
The main thing that I look at is if the cow stays in the center or if they're runners. I literally just call them runners if they just keep going back and forth. So a lot of the good cows just stay in the center, and the horse can just stay and cut it back and forth instead of running all over the place.
The way they look at you, they'll look at you and they won't be scared, but they'll be alert and willing to what we call hook up with you. When they hook up real nice, they'll cut real good.
Where they're not looking at you at all, and so you know when they're real bad. I mean, if they don't see you, they're gonna run. If they haven't seen you in there, if you're cutting on the run, they're probably gonna be bad. They're probably not gonna slow down.
If they put their toe in the air, usually not the one to cut because that means they're real wild.
There's a lot of different things that you have to look at. You know, as we know, all these trainers, they have studied cattle and they've been around cattle their entire life. You know, certain things I know that you want to look for. You know, for instance, bad cattle are the easier ones to spot. You know, those are going to be the ones as the cows are settling and they're preparing them for the class, that they're kind of trying to hide or duck behind other cows, or they're going really fast, or they're pushing on the turnback horse. So they're not really respecting him or the horse, and you'll notice that that turnback, the person settling the herd will pop at that cow a little bit with his horse and try and, you know, push it to make it respect, because he has the chance to make it respect a horse, and that helps when the riders come and they're showing and they have that one cow that was pushy won't be as pushy. And it will also, you know, those cows that are fast and hide, that turnback horse will get them separated. So you can also see as they're standing kind of by themselves, are they watching you? Are they being smart? You know, some cows that see you and then run off, they're not really being smart, they're just reacting. Whereas other cows that watch you and kind of look, or watch the turnback I should say, and then if he walks towards them, they'll move enough that has respect but won't panic or won't react. Those are the smart cows. I also like fatter cows because those are also smart. You know, everybody else is doing something and those are the ones eating in general life. Those are some things that I look for with a cow. Some people are way more in depth, and I'm also still learning, so.
Thank you guys very much for your time in watching this documentary series. It really means a lot. If you guys have enjoyed any of these episodes, please make sure to hit that like button on YouTube. Also subscribe to Jeff Makes Films if you're interested in watching more of these horse documentary episodes. As well, if you're into film production, want to learn more about video production, audio production, everything film production related, then definitely be sure to check out some more playlists on this YouTube channel. Again, thank you guys for your time. Comment down your thoughts, what you thought of the video, and share this video with any friends who you think would also appreciate this video. This is Jeffrey from Jeff Makes Films, and I'll see you guys next time.